Yeah,
So if we can at least work on locking horns and crashing wings, is probably the two that we can work on today for sure.
sure. Yeah, we'll save the mount business for later. So, so have you watched the video for locking horns, or not even?
I'm going to come into this one raw. So
Okay. Um, so yeah, locking horns is a front headlock. I suppose I'm gonna have to spin this camera around maybe so you can see me move. Let me just do this here. So I'm not out in the garage today because it's way too cold. I'm gonna be miserable out there. So we'll try it here in the living room. Uh, yeah, so locking horns is a front headlock. So you're bent over like this, and the opponent isn't necessarily directly in front of you, but he's maybe just um, off center. So like I'll imagine his right foot in between my feet and his left foot over here just to the outside, and he's got his right arm around my. So the first thing I do is I'm gonna tuck my chin. Yeah, and that's to protect my airway. I'm either tucking to his elbow or tucking to his wrist. My left hand is going to be like a push down block to his knee. That keeps the knee out of my solar plexus or groin. And I'm going to set the right neutral bow with the reverse hand swing up into the groin.
okay.
So it's going to be pin, step, and strike. But I try to do that all at once. Pin, step, and strike in one go.
Okay, so it's a left downward block, correct?
Yeah, we'd call it a push down block. It's not a downward block like we used in thrusting salute, but it's basically a pinning check, or you could call it a push down block. And you're doing that right above his knee, right above his right knee, and that just keeps him from, because when he's got you in that headlock, he's going to want to just drive knees into your groin and abdomen until you can give up. So that left hand is crucial to keep his knee out of your midsection.
Okay, so I understand that because it's the opposite of. Oh, come on.
Should I give you the answer?
So I'm sorry.
Should I give you the answer?
No, don't give me the answer. I should know this one. Okay, we're gonna cheat. Hang on. Grasp of death.
That's it.
I knew it was a grasp of something, and I couldn't remember what.
That's right.
Because grasp of death, they're beside you this way. In this one, this is locking horns, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's the front headlock. So he's in front of you there. And so instead of punching you in the face, he's going to try to be kneeing you in the groin. Or he may be trying to fall backwards and put you in his guard. If he's a jiu-jitsu guy, he may want to lay down on the ground and start getting his legs up around you and put you in like a guillotine choke in his guard, which would be gnarly.
That's what I was thinking, because I was wondering if that was possibly the solution for a guillotine choke, if that's what it was. Because I was like, wow, that if he decides to fall back, he's really got me here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
or he could sprawl, and instead of laying on his back and putting you in his guard, he could sprawl his legs out, and then that's I think a true, what they would call a guillotine, where you're sort of laying on top of the guy, and that's not good either. So this defense is meant to be initiated as soon as possible to try to preclude any of those other things from happening. So it's the left pin and the right strike to the groin as you step forward into that right neutral bow. That looks good. Now, I would recommend not having your thumb be on top, but really try to get that thumb as much out of the way. I aim to touch this part of my palm. You can see how my hand kind of curves a little bit, or like cups a little bit.
yeah.
You don't want to keep it straight, because if you hit with this part here, this is called the saddle joint of the thumb, and that saddle joint is very weak. It gives you a lot of mobility, but it's not really good for taking impacts. And so you want to get that saddle joint out of the way, and you're striking more. I don't have a lot of beef on my hand, but you're supposed to be striking with this meaty portion, or these kind of two bones that diverge here or come together. That's where you're striking with. So just get that thumb out of the way as you strike.
That's what I was going to ask. I didn't imagine you wanted it the actual strike to be here. I figured you would want it back here in the metacarpal area.
That's right. I mean, if you're hitting the groin, it almost doesn't matter what you hit with, right? You could do it wrong. You could keep your thumb up like that and hit with your knuckle, and that would certainly hurt him. But if you're really giving it the old heave ho, you don't want to sprain your thumb in the process and be out of commission. So the best thing to do is just get that thumb out of the way. And striking with this definitely stings. Like if you hit a bag or a board, you're gonna say ouch, but you're not gonna hurt your thumb if you get it out of the way.
Okay. So he's like this, and there's no worrying about trying to get out of the hold here. It's turn your head, chuck your chin down. It's everything all at once. It's here, here, here simultaneously.
That's right. Yep. Now, yeah, you showed it in steps there, and that was helpful for me to see that you were thinking of all three. But now try to really do it literally in one movement. It's step, pin, and strike. In one. Yes, that's it. That's it. Now, with that left hand, see if you can flare your elbow and push more with your palm. It's almost like the chopping heel palm strike we do in clutching feathers. You don't want it to be a sort of a casual positional check like our on guard, but you want that hand to the elbow to flare and to press over, because now it's going to feel like a push-up, and you're really going to be able to resist that knee. If you relax your elbow and your hand is up, he's just going to knee through that and into you. So lift that elbow and press like a push-up with the heel of your palm. Yep, and lower that left hand. His knee isn't going to be that high. It's going to be more towards your groin. Yeah.
So he's got me here.
Yeah, that looks a lot better. Yep. And as you do this on a practice partner, you'll be more familiar with where that hand needs to go. It's right there in front of your groin. So no need to let it get too high. I mean, think of where your knees are right now. Yeah, they're at the same height, just in front of you, not too high. That's it. And it's not off to the side. His knee is right in your center line, right towards the camera. Yeah, because remember, he's got his right arm around your neck, so he's not perfectly in front. He's off center, but his knee is perfectly in front. His right knee is perfect with your center line. So like from your solar plexus, just like clutching feathers, just push out to his knee. That's it. Yeah, right there. Boom. That's it. Very good.
I don't want to be this way. I want to be this way.
Yeah. Because you don't want to sprain your wrist either. If you put your hand like that on his thigh as he's pushing, you may experience a little hyperextension like that. So if you turn it over, it's just that meaty part of your hand. Yeah, that looks good.
It's safe to say he's going to be fairly close in.
Well, yeah,
he's not distant.
He's very close. So your neck is under his armpit, his chest is up on your back, and his groin is basically right at your chin level there. Yeah, if you could use a forearm if you wanted to, if he's that close.
I was going to say, because here, yeah, I'm still going to try and aim here, but if I simply clear here as I step, it's
right. Yeah. So yeah, you can have the hand as a fist and think more forearm. That does shorten it though, and right. he may end up impacting your arm by putting your hand reaching out just a little bit more. You're sort of stopping it before it gets started. You're pressing his knee down, and keeping it from firing, as opposed to like receiving the impact on the arm, which maybe wouldn't feel good. But play with it.
My thought though is I want to drive the knee back down. Basically, as he's coming up, I want to drive the foot back down.
Yeah, you want to keep it down before it even gets started. You don't want to like wait for him to knee, because your arm isn't going to be strong enough to accept the knee strike, but it is strong enough to sort of stop it before it gets. It's like when we do a pinning check on the arm, right?
Right.
You're thinking, I don't want you to punch me in the face, so I'm going to pin that arm down, and now he really can't because the deltoid just isn't strong enough to overcome that. So yeah, you're stopping it before he gets started.
Okay, because I was thinking the same thing that I've done with Kenpo Jitsu. It's with a foot. It comes up, and it's a strike with the instep, but it's low. It's basically to the front of the shin, and it's down is all it is. It's to drive the foot down.
That's right. Yeah, it's the same idea. Now, with our hand, we don't want to push so hard that we lock out his knee and he falls backwards, because we may just be uh, helping him to put us into that into his
Oh,
guard. So you do want to be careful that you're not getting too enthusiastic with the push, but a little disturbance to his balance and a little bit of a press there is good. So you want to kind of feel the tension. If he's if he's if he's sprawling and laying on top of you, or if he's trying to fall back and put you in his guard, you want to be able to sort of pull a little bit. But if he's got you in the headlock and he's doing more of like a football tackle where he's trying to plow you forward, then you may be more like a like the name suggests, locking horns, where two animals are pushing. So feel where you're at in the tug of war, and don't let him win either way. Don't let him like over push you this way, and don't let him drag you out. So just be mindful of that. And so you've got your pin, your step, and your strike, and that's really what's going to save the day, is that grind strike. But we will, in our next move here, we are going to go after his wrist and try to get our head free if he's still hanging on. So let's look at that next piece.
okay.
So we've got our chin tuck, we've got our pin, step, and strike. Yep. Now, the right hand, well, at this point, I like to rotate it internally and put it between my legs. So before it was up like this. Now I'm going to rotate it and put it in. It's a preparation for my next strike. The left hand is going to reach up by my right ear to grab his wrist. So I'm grabbing his wrist. I'm going to stand. I'm going to pry his arm off of my throat. I'm going to stand up, and as I do, this right arm becomes a vertical elbow. It tracks up the center line. You can hit him in the solar plexus and then the chin as you stand up.
So I'm okay. So
Yes, that looks great. That looks very good. And so that first shot can be to his solar plexus, because he's over on top of you, right? So the closest target is the solar plexus, and as he reacts to that, you can fire another elbow in the same line up to the chin. So yes, I make it 1-2, 1-2, rather than trying to just connect the dots and plow through all of them. I make it 2 little shots, 1, 2. And you can think about sort of reloading it, bringing it back down, or you can just stop and then fire again from where you're at. 1, yeah. Now the second elbow, the one up to his chin, I do that while rising. So the first one is I'm kind of hunched because he's on top of me, and then the second one, I'm whole body is behind it. So that's where it really gets its power, is by me standing up.
marriage of gravity in reverse.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Exactly.
Okay. So from here, hits.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that looks very good.
So
And
I have to
then
remember this here.
yeah, you're pulling that off. Let's think here.
Because from here, it's 2 moves. Oh, that's easy. Oh, yeah. Because from here, I got it. Sure.
And then the final strike with our hands here, you're going to push drag after that second elbow. You're going to push drag with an elbow sandwich. Yes. Now, rather than you can think of it a couple different ways. You can think of it as a left hand grab and a single right elbow, or you can think of it as 2 strikes. You can think of it as a heel palm to one side, sandwiching with the elbow to the other. So it's kind of whatever, or you could just skip the left hand and just make it a typical elbow. So
I think you're right. It's going to be whatever the situation, however it develops.
yep. So you've got the strike, you've got the 2 elbows, 1, 2, and then the textbook is a push drag elbow sandwich. Good. And now from there, you can finish the technique like we've been practicing, where you do a single cover out towards the there's an object there behind you towards your left at 7:30. Do a single cover out towards 7:30, and then come back in with a back kick. That's it.
Oh, just a bad, but it's, yeah.
That's
And I'm
it.
pretty It's right here, but
Yep. Now, if you wanted to, you could think about before doing the cover out. Remember, we talked about moving up the circle a little bit so that your cover out is towards the window behind you at 6. So
right.
after that elbow sandwich, yes, you can get out of the way a little bit, cover out towards 6, and then that way you're on a straight line towards 12 with your back kick if that's what you prefer.
And that part I've been working on quite a bit because it just to get it into my head because it makes so much sense just to give it a drop, basically a drop step,
Mm-hmm.
and then a quick step to reposition, and that's been helping my balance too. I've actually worked a lot on just that move alone, and especially with the right to get that balance back, and that's been coming even better. So it's developing better. So I'm getting it. So all right, from the top, master.
Yeah, let's see it one more time.
Okay, so from here, he's wrapped around this way. So it's okay. Had to think about it just for a second. It's
Mm-hmm.
because it's there because then it's
Very good.
then it's
Yep. That's it. And then you can complete the full double cover out. I know you're limited on space, but just don't forget that after that back kick,
I have to.
yeah, you kicking him. There's like the equal and opposite reaction is going to be you kind of falling away from that back kick, and so you're going to do a front crossover, double cover out, and really sort of dissipate that energy after having kicked him.
And that's where I have to remember we worked on it. Oh, I don't remember the term, but there's the 3 concepts: distance. Oh wow!
Oh, zones of protection, or
Yes, protection. Because I studied that, and I remember one right now: distance.
that's right.
Ah,
Yeah. Well, yeah. So the 3 are height, width, and depth. Depth or distance, right, between you and the opponent. So that cover out definitely gives you a lot of that. You obscure your center line, and you open the distance between you and the opponent. So it's very good.
because it works both directions. Because my distance is my distance to my target, as well as my distance from my target when I'm finished.
Yep. Yep.
To strike, I need to separate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Again.
Yeah. Let's see it a few more times.
All right. So from here, he's got me. It's no. I missed something.
No, that looks sharp. That was it.
Woo. Oh yeah, because when I make this move, it's a cover up here. It's up here to grab the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's here.
Mm-hmm.
It's pull and strike.
That's it. That looks very good. The only tip I would give you is to stand up a little more on the second elbow to really accentuate the strike. That way it's not just the rear delt muscle. Yeah.
Because I have to remember where I'm at. So it's I have to get that push drag in there to grab them. So I have to kind of envision in my head when I hit and stand them up where that head's roughly going to be. And that's the difficulty because if I have to reach out, I'm going to reach out and step.
Yeah. If I really connect with that elbow to the chin and he's like losing a tooth and he's looking up, I'm not going to do the push drag. I don't want to overextend by reaching really far with my rear hand and trying to connect with this really short weapon. I'm thinking more like I hit him in the solar plexus. Maybe I pop him in the nose or the tooth, but his head is still kind of down and he's disoriented. And if he's doing one of these, where his chin is down, that's where I'm going for the sandwich. But if I really connect with that elbow, I'll just borrow something. I'll steal from thrusting salute and fire a front kick or a heel palm, or maybe I'll just skip it all together and just do the cool back kick at the end. So
I was thinking that because it might be if he's already backing up, it's like let's just finish that off. Bam.
Exactly. Yeah, easier just to delete than rather than try to be creative and add another strike. So yeah, the three strikes, the shot to the groin, the shot to the solar plexus, the shot to the chin, you've hit all the sweet spots, right? So might as well just skip the elbow if it's not helpful.
Let me see if I can do it with the left.
Mm-hmm.
Guarantee there's a few lefties out there that are going to pull that stunt. So,
Mm-hmm.
boy, it's amazing how you have to reorient everything in your head real quick.
Yeah. So don't rush it. If he's grabbing left, so just visualize his left foot is right between your feet, and his right foot is to the outside of your left leg. Yep, it's over there. So
Want
that
this step first.
yep, your right hand is going to his left knee. Yep, that hand's going to the knee. The left hand is going to the groin. That's it. So just do that part over and over again, because that's all you really need. You land that shot and the fight's over. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm probably coming from here.
Yeah, I was gonna say let it swing like a pendulum from the outside. Don't necessarily try to shoot it straight forward like a punch. That ridge hand, let it swing.
That was an oops because I wound up here. I'm like,
Yeah, and it's lefty.
yeah. You've never seen me throw with my left hand. It's and you're videoing this is going on YouTube or whatever. Great. Look at the guy on YouTube. That's all going on. I've seen the videos with your son. So
we've all been there.
So from here it's
that's it. Very good.
Because then it's cover, grab.
Yep. Very good.
And then this is pull. From here it's
yep. Very good. Yep. My only tip on the back kick would be when you do that single cover out, really open the distance. I feel like you're doing a very short step away and a very short step for the kick, and it seems more symbolic. Let me show you what I mean.
Sure.
Maybe it's just the camera that's not doing you justice, but
no, I really was. I did shorten that up. I was trying to reposition and make that a shorter one. So you're correct.
Yeah. So like if I go like this, if I go step, 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 kick, it's more symbolic as opposed to if I'm like really trying to get away and really trying to add some power to that kick. So don't I would say don't shortchange it if you don't have to.
Okay.
Open that distance, and then because that distance equals power, right? When you retravel those steps, you're really gaining some momentum for that back kick.
And then just like terminology still eludes me, and I'm still having trouble with the names, and I need to practice these names better. What was the one we worked on? Oh, for pity's sake. Was it Clutching Feathers? Where we worked on, like we talked about, the shortened to bring me back to 6 o'clock. What did you talk about?
Yeah, Clutching Feathers may be one that we talked about it, where you up the circle to cover out towards 6. Is that what you mean?
Yes. And it was because I was working on that because it's where I was at. It was a short drop step, and then I could stay in line with my target.
Exactly.
So it was just taking this and a short drop.
Mm-hmm.
Then once I did that, then my cover was there.
Yeah, that looks really good. The way you did a full single cover and you really rear crossed over in for the back kick. So I would say don't shortchange it. Like when we're practicing, we think, oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what this means. I'm just gonna like abbreviate it. But then that ends up being the muscle memory. So don't abbreviate it unless you know there's a good reason to.
Sure.
So like if you're fighting in a telephone booth or an elevator, then you might have to shorten it up a bit. So let's see it here one more time on the other side, the locking horns.
Left side. Okay. So from here, he's got me this way. Come on. Okay, yeah, that was right.
Yep. Oop. Make it a left elbow. Let's go back to the beginning. I feel like we're trying to connect all the dots. Let's just focus on pin, step, and strike, the very first move. And remember to tuck your chin. I think that's the most important. And I think you'll do it naturally, because as soon as you feel his forearm getting dangerously close to your throat, you're naturally going to want to protect it. But just realize you're in that headlock, so tuck that chin before you even get started. And now that right hand is really going to push against his knee. You want to stop his knee before he starts, and that's it. Yep, do that 2 or 3 more times. And try not to just present the ridge hand, but really let it swing like a battering ram, like you're breaking down a castle door or something.
Okay, so for me.
Yeah, that looks a lot better. Yep. The other thing I like to do, what we'll realize is that, let's see this. I'll show you here from a side view. Since the opponent is so close to me, it's not realistic to strike like this. Do you see how my arm is so long?
Yes.
It's better for it to come up. So there's a swing to it, but it finishes almost like it feels like almost like an uppercut with the ridge hand, because his groin is right there in front of you. Yeah. So start like a pendulum, but then finish kind of like a bicep curl.
I understand. So he's got me here. So it's...
Yeah. There you go. Get it all together there. That's more of a presentation to the front. Remember, I wanted to have that bicep curl element to it, where you're really coming up into the groin. Once you get a practice partner, you'll realize the direction in which you need to deliver that ridge hand. So really let it come from underneath and travel upward. Yes, there you go. Yeah, make sure that right hand is pressing. It's both hands are going away from you in a sense. So right hand is. Yeah.
I was just using the other side for a second.
Well, so if it helps, let's break it apart. Let's go back to the left side and have your right hand press first. Just get that out there. Like you want to stop that knee anyways. And so it may even make sense to get it out there first before you step with your ridge hand. So get your right hand on his knee and then step with the ridge hand and strike the groin.
Am I deflecting? I want my deflection to be down, correct?
I wouldn't say straight down. I would say kind of down and back. So it's not horizontal and it's not vertical, but you're kind of pushing at a downward diagonal against his leg.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to push him back, but I definitely want to be pushing that foot down.
Yeah.
And his leg, if its leg's coming up, if I meet the leg this way, no matter what, it should go down. Okay. Because I just need to push the leg down. I don't need to push the leg back.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So there is a little bit of a backward component to it, because realize that his leg is hinging on his hip. And so initially you may be pushing it down, but in order to really get his leg away from you, you are going to have to kind of push it back, because it's, I mean, if I stand up here,
Right.
So like this is my leg. You could push down, but that's only going to help for like the first couple degrees. And then you can see that pushing down doesn't help anymore.
Okay.
To follow the knee until it. So
I understand.
First part is down, the second component. So just kind of follow the arc. But what I was suggesting was you could start by checking first. You're in the headlock. You could have your right hand check and get that part in your mind, and then just focus on step with the strike. Step with the strike. And so that pin is out there. And then if you want, you could try to tie it all together and have it pin with the strike.
I understand. Just for the sake of practice, start off with just this forward, correct? My
Yeah. Yeah. Just sort of segment it a little bit.
So he's got it here. Here.
There it is. Yep.
Yeah, it's so easy to just push them both like this, and I can't do that. I have to swing.
Yeah, it's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy, right?
Oh, great! Now you bring that up. I failed at that, you know.
That looks really good. Yes, that's it. Very good.
I gotta get this swinging better.
Now, if he catches you off guard, like if he's really got you in this headlock and he's driving a knee, you may not have the positioning and wherewithal to really step with that strike. So you may very well have to pin first, right? Keep that knee out of your midsection and then step with the strike. So it's not wrong to separate it, but you know, practicing it simultaneous isn't bad either. Let's add the rest of the technique now.
Okay.
Yep. And now you're going to make sure you grab that wrist and 2 elbows. That's it. And now it's a left elbow with a push drag. That's it. And then single cover, make it big.
Oh, I took 2 steps. I didn't want. Because I'm still thinking of shortening, and I wanted to keep it back to that 6. So I drug that left foot, which reset my head.
All right, one more time.
So from here.
Yep. That's it. Just make it big. Step through. Get away from him. That's it. Yep. That looks really good. Very good.
Well, I gotta work on that flow, especially the left side.
Yeah.
It's so odd why I have such issues, because it's not a big deal. I don't know why it's been such a big deal, but it is.
Yeah. I would say the techniques are designed to be short and sweet, but they still have 2 or 3, maybe sometimes even 4 strikes in them. So don't feel obligated to try to attempt or memorize the whole technique. If you want, just let the pin, step, and the first strike be your move. Like in delayed sword, it would just be step and strike with the inward block, and just let that be the move for a day. And then after you do that a whole bunch, and it's obvious and natural, then the next day you come at work on the next strike. I think when techniques feel long, there are all these moving parts, and I think it slows progress. I think it's better just to take them in whatever feels like a digestible bite. And in this case, it might be each strike is its own digestible bite, and just take that bite, and you'll worry about the rest in the next practice. So let's do the left side a couple more times, and just give me the pin, step, and strike.
Okay.
Yep, that's it.
Because I have to come here. Because I want to just bring it up as a check, but I have to remember to come up and grab. This is a grab here.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to remember too, though, because I want to stay down, because when I do that, this is where I have to remember my situation, because I'm doing it as if I'm not in a headlock, and I realize that's a difficulty. So if I'm here and I make the check, I'm probably not going to go anywhere. So it's probably just going to stay here like this. Bring this down, hit.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to rise to do that as I'm pulling.
Mm-hmm.
Force that arm off. Okay. That's probably that first sequence almost seems like the most important part of that entire form. Because once I get here and I get that peeled off, no matter what, if all else fails, I can leave.
Yeah, whatever comes after that, you know, a push drag elbow, a thrusting salute or detour from doom, or just a turn and run, you know, you've secured your freedom, which is what we need.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, there you go. That seems like a benchmark in a lot of them. If I have secured my freedom, that's my first decision point.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, that's my first decision point. Because as long as he's got my windpipe, my airway, I can make no other decision other than I must get that free.
Right. That's kind of it. And I think that's well put. And I would also say, don't forget the obvious, which is that you can hammer that reverse hand sword or that ridge hand multiple times, right? So if you hit and you miss, maybe you hit him more on the tailbone, right, or whatever the case, and you're going for this wrist and it's not working, right? Just I would go back to that ridge hand and, you know, change the angle of incidence a little bit until you really meet your intended target.
Now, here's a question for you, and it's just a matter of circumstance. I know I've not learned the form, but it's a matter of, you brought it up, what if he's still attacking? Okay, I've made the move here. I've got my first strike. I blocked, and usually it's to here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I blocked the first one, but he's coming back up. My hand's coming back up to grab this. I could drop him again, but all I wind up doing is this number. And I don't gain nothing. That begs my question, just like you said, turn and fire here. Would it be sensible then to maybe grasp here and leave it and guard? I'm just asking, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say for every time a reverse hand sword feels warranted and needed, I would be checking his leg, because the tucking of your chin should be enough to protect your airway. It doesn't get you free, but it cancels whatever he's attempting here with the choke. So keep your chin tucked, keep his leg out of your midsection, and hit him in the groin. It's kind of like clutching feathers. When we pin and we punch, you could do 2, 3, 4 of these things. Just keep racking him in the ribs until he's like, oh, and he just doesn't want to hang on anymore. You could just pin his leg and hit him 2, 3, 4 times in the groin, and he's not hanging on anymore. He's on the ground and he's, you know, holding his groin and crying, right? So I would just hit him 2, 3, 4 times, and only if he's kind of slumped on you at that point, and his, you know, you can worry about getting this arm off while you're hitting him. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is we shouldn't be in a hurry to skip ahead. Like, oh, I did step number 1. Let's get to step number 2 and 3 because, you know, we've got so many steps to do. It could just be step 1, step 1, step 1.
Right.
And,
well, my thinking was, what is my best airway protection? Because as long as this, and this is, as long as I've got this tucked in good and my airway's protected, he's not wedged up underneath my chin, then my airway's good. And yeah, then I understand. Then that's what I want to drive for, is tuck that in good and hard to protect my airway. And as long as I can still breathe, then I can still fire these as many times as I need to. But I've got to drive my chin to my chest as hard as I possibly can.
Yeah, I would say that's very important. This is an opportunity for me to share. I would classify it as a real fight that I was in. When I was in 10th grade, I did a wrestling class at a high school, a local high school, not my school, but a different one. And they paired us up and taught us some moves, and then we were to go forth and try them. And in high school wrestling, you're not allowed to do this kind of headlock. It's an illegal move. The guy administering the headlock has to include your arm, not just your neck in the headlock, but your arm has to be part of the headlock, and that's for safety reasons, so that people's necks don't get strained or their airways don't get blocked. But this guy didn't care. He had me in the front headlock, and I didn't have my chin tucked, and I couldn't get it in there at that point. And he's like cranking my neck. I think he's going to kill me, right? He's either going to break my neck or choke me out. And so without the ability to tuck my chin, I just, with one hand, grabbed him by the groin. By the other hand, I grabbed him by the face or the collar, and I threw him head first into a wall. And it wasn't that I was thinking about it. Like, my eyes were popping out. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. I'm really dying. And I was so angry. So it was just grab him by the groin, grab and throw. And I didn't realize what I did until afterwards. So I would say the chin tuck is important. Protecting your airway is important, but always remember the best defense is a good offense. So he may have gotten you here, here, and here, but you go for gold, and you know you're the victor of the confrontation. So the best defense is a good offense always.
No, that's it's in my head. Where can I buy myself time? So if I'm here, because I guarantee, just like you were saying, if I'm hitting here, these are disabling strikes. I mean, there isn't a man in the world, unless he's hopped up on meth, and even then, he's only going to take so many of these before he finally crumbles. And if I can continue to hit, as long as I can still breathe and I'm clutching my chin down like this, I can keep blocking his leg all day long. But as long as he's leaving me that opening, I'll continue to strike. Okay.
Yeah. That, I think that's the right takeaway there. With the time remaining, if you have the bandwidth, let's try crashing wings.
Got plenty of bandwidth, so we're really good. Crashing waves. Whoops. Wings. Is it waves or wings?
Wings. Like chicken wings.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is a rear bear hug with your arms free. And similar kind of a wrestling scenario, right? The opponent is, if he had you in a front headlock, he may be motivated to try to wrestle you to the ground. If this guy has you in a bear hug, he could be just holding you so that an opponent can attack you. And we're going to see this later on in brown belt and black belt with the two-man moves. But he could be bear hugging you because he wants to stick a leg out and basically roll down and wrestle you to the ground. So our first step will be to step out into a horse stance and squat down and sit on his thigh. So let's see what that would look like.
So he's got me under my arms, correct?
He's under your arms, but generally speaking, when someone bear hugs you, they're not going to be high under your armpits across your chest. They're going to be lower around your waist because they want to get down to your center of gravity so they can really toss you. If they hug you up high, they're just holding you. They're trying to immobilize you but not do anything. If they want to do something, they're going to squat down and grab around your belt, because then they can heave ho and toss you over their shoulder or tackle you to the ground. So think like a security guard who's trying to do something, or a cop. They're not going to hug high. They're going to hug low and try to crank you down. So let's see what this is going to look like here. So our first step is going to be, if he's grabbing around our belt level, we're gonna sit down like this. And if I do it from side view, you're gonna see that I kind of stick my butt out a little bit. I'm not trying to stay upright like in a chair, but I lean forward. And the reason is that, just like we were talking about in locking horns, about you want to be ready to sort of either push or pull a little bit to counteract whatever he's giving you. If he's grabbing and pushing forward, you want to poke your butt out a little bit and resist him. If he's grabbing and pulling back, you want to be able to lean forward a little bit so that you're in an equilibrium, so that he doesn't win. You don't want him tackling you to your face on the ground, and you don't want him pulling you back. So you step, you squat, and you bend over a little bit, and you're ready in both directions, a 12 o'clock pull or a 6 o'clock push. Yep.
How wide of a stance would you recommend? I've been working on this because I have a tendency just naturally to want to be fairly wide. I tend to like a more traditional stance when I go to a horse stance, but I also know I need to shorten that up and be more maneuverable. Do you have?
I would say the second one you did looked good. It was still what I would call wide, but not overly wide. You are going to want to take a relatively wide stance, because we're going to end up stepping around the outside of his leg, and you need to give yourself room to do that. So I definitely don't go shallow on this one, but I would say moderate to wide. And let's try stepping out with the right foot. That's it. Now, I want you to think about your tailbone resting on his thigh, you're basically going to sit right here on his thigh, and with just the same thing we were doing with our push down block. Yeah, that's it. Yep, you're gonna basically sit on your exercise ball just like you're sitting on his knee. That's it. And what that does is if I'm the bad guy and you sit on my leg, it makes it hard for me to do what I want. You basically pinned my leg to the ground because you put all your weight on it. And whatever, if he's trying to lift you up off the ground, he can't straighten his knees because you're sitting on it. You've basically taken his quadricep out of the equation. So it's only for a moment, of course. He can try to wiggle his leg out, but it's very distracting. And so if you can have a practice partner try to pick you up and take turns, you be the bad guy and have them sit on your leg, you'll realize just how distracting it is. And it doesn't win the fight on its own, but it does stop him, whatever it was he was trying to do. And it's very easy. Just sit on his knee, basically, like he's Santa Claus. So you're gonna, and in that same moment, I want us to, we're gonna reach up and we're gonna crash our elbows down. That's where the technique gets its name, crashing limb. Yep, that's it. So reach high and we crash.
It's inward here.
Well, yeah. So I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be with the elbows out. I like to really think about coming in this way. It's kind of an awkward movement. We don't do it in the gym, so it's not like a lat pull down, right? Do you see how my elbows aren't really? I mean, it is like a lat pull down. I guess it's like a wide grip lat pull down, but I let my hands go palm up, and I come in this way. So I guess in that sense, it is like a lat pull down. I want to focus on the elbows coming in here as opposed to like, well, I guess it's coming down no matter what. But sometimes when I see people do this, it feels like they're striking with their tricep. They're just kind of like.
But you're striking with the elbow, correct?
Yeah, you really want to focus with the tip of your elbow. You can even kind of come towards the front like this if you want. So that's going to feel like a chin up. And you want to aim the point of your elbow is going to hit anywhere here on his forearm. You could hit if his hands are in front, you could aim for his knuckles like this. Mm-hmm. You could end up hitting his in the middle of his forearm or up here on his brachioradialis, but you're gonna crash like that. And the first one's going to be with marriage of gravity as you step. But again, you can do this 2 or 3 times. So I guess maybe what I'm seeing a little bit in you is maybe more of a pull like this, where your elbows are going past your torso. But no matter what line you do see here how my elbow always crashes into my torso?
Right.
So don't let it be a row like this.
Where his arms are here.
Yes.
Oh.
But if we think about connecting with his arm in this kind of a row where the elbow goes past the body, it could be more of a glancing strike. Right. And it's more like you're creating friction on him. We don't want friction. We want an impact. So yes, that looks much better.
Yeah, I understand. Or if I have to, come forward a little bit here, but I've got to get down because I have to. That's part of the squatting down a little bit to shorten my torso a smidge to get it down to where his arms are.
That's right. Now in what you're talking about there, if he's really low, that's where I find doing it more like a chin up and aiming for my belly button is helpful, because I'm bending over anyways, and so by bending over and striking like that, hits low. But going out to the side isn't bad either. So you may start out on the first strike here, second strike you may go there, so you can just kind of keep hitting a couple of places there, and it's really going to rack his arms, and he's not going to want to hang on.
Sure. So.
Yep, that looks really good.
Oh, that makes total sense. Yeah, I don't want to aim past. I want to aim, and I've really got to. Boy, that'd be a good ab workout if you did that a few times.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the movement there is like a breathing crunch or a breathing squat kind of. Very good. So now, so you stepped out with your right foot. That looks really good. Next, what we're going to do, the left foot is going to cat around the outside of his leg. So let's see what that looks like. So we step with our crash. The left foot can come to your right foot. So that's the cat part. You're coming in feet together. Now you're going to position around the outside of his leg towards your original, 6 o'clock or 7:30. And what you want, what you want your left foot to be directly behind his right foot, so that your the inside of your left shoe is behind his right heel.
Oh.
And your left knee is on the outside of his right knee. So it's like your left leg is hugging his right leg. Yep. Maybe scoot the left leg a little bit more towards 9 o'clock or 7:30. So as you cat around. Well, that's too far. That's more towards your 4:30. Go more towards like 7:30 or 8 o'clock.
Okay. So it's be here. Oops.
Well, that's the finishing result. I want you to cat around a crescent step, but I want you to do a crescent step and finish almost where you started. So try that. Let's exaggerate it. So you watch me do it.
I will. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'll try it here with my back to the camera. So, yeah, that looks pretty good. So I step and crash. I'm catting. And I'm gonna crescent step around, but I'm almost coming right back up right. So it's just kind of this kind of a movement.
Oh.
I'm trying to get around and behind his leg.
I misunderstood. Okay, now I understand. You're coming around his right side, not his left side.
That's right. Yeah, and we don't want a big gap between us. We want to stay sort of hip to hip and leg to leg. He's hugging us, and now presumably after the elbow strikes, we've loosened that grip a little bit, but he's still kind of on us. We're still sort of snuggling, right? And so you're gonna move that leg. Yes, that's it. That's perfect. You're still hip to hip. You're leg to leg. Yep, everything's close and tight. Now, as you complete that step, you're gonna fire a left outward elbow to his face.
From after here or during that?
With it, like the moment that foot hits the ground is the moment your elbow hits his face. Bam, that's it. Now that right there should end the fight, right? You've put your leg behind his. You kind of precluded him from stepping back with that leg, and now at the same time you smash him in the face with that elbow. He should just like topple over and hit the ground. But if he hasn't, your left arm can then wrap around and hug, and you want to feel like you're hugging a football, but what you're hugging is his tricep. You've got it pinned under your arm, and your left hand is gripped.
Sure, yeah. because he had that arm around me. I've kept it there.
That's right.
Here's a question though, and that actually brings up something since we've done that. Do you want me to pin it with my right hand?
I suppose you could. After the crash, you could think about hugging it with the right as you wrap with the left to make sure it stays there. But it may not, right? I don't want you to be overly preoccupied with hugging that arm, but you could try to maintain it with the right so that it's there for your left. Yep. Now, I want to give a tip here, and I'm running out of light. Let me see if I can find a stick here. So let this saxophone case represent the opponent's arm, and that's kind of big. That's too big. Too big for an arm. Here, I had just the object. All right. So let this pole here represent the opponent's arm. And when we elbow and we wrap, I don't want you to wrap like this. Do you see what I've done?
Right.
This is not the wrap I want you to do. I
Okay.
want this hand to hug. You see what I'm doing? So yeah, so it's a flap and it's a hug like this.
Okay.
And what that does is it allows you to squeeze it in really tight. And you want to think about the Heisman Trophy, if I've got it right, in football, where he's hugging the ball with one hand and he's got the other hand out saying, you can't have this. And that's what you're doing. And you see what kind of control it gives you. The football player, he never holds a football like this, right?
Right.
It's just gonna pop out his armpit. He's got to have the tactile feel of the hand and the ability to sort of do what he wants with it this way. So after that elbow and you wrap, don't even think of it as a wrap. It's really more of a flapping elbow and then a hand hug.
Okay. Sure. Wow. That
Now,
was excellent.
yep. Now from here, you're getting ready for a takedown. So you've got the wrap with the left. Yeah, go ahead and walk up to your elbow. Now at this point, your left knee is checking his right knee. Your left knee is pinning and checking his right hand. So you've got a free left hand. You're going to reach out and grab his left lapel. Sorry, you've got a free right hand. You're going to reach out and grab his left lapel with your right hand. And now here comes the tricky part. Step out with the left. Around with the right. And you're going to reap. And to reap, you use your reverse bow here against his leg to trip him down to the ground. And you can see at the same time, it looks like I'm punching, but it's actually a lapel grab and a push. I'm pushing his body to the ground here, right in front of me. Yep.
I tend to like the reap. It's one of my better moves.
Mine too, and there were quite a few takedowns in Ed Parker's original Kenpo, and this was the one that really made the most sense to me. So it's featured. I made sure to keep it in at least a couple of moves here, but a lot of the other takedowns were just a little too precarious. I think this one just makes total sense. I could do this against a 300-pound guy, and he's going down no problem. So let's see this again.
Okay, the whole thing?
Yeah.
So he's got me here. So it's from there. Oh, come on.
Press and step around the leg.
Yeah, that's because it's there.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's there. Because it's cat, elbow, pin.
Yep. Now, yep, lapel grab. That's it.
Okay. I do need to work on it both sides, but it's almost one of those, if he's got me center, unless there's a space limitation, I can do it to my strong side all day long, but it's good to work both sides.
Yeah, I think it is good to work both sides. You could imagine being at a bar or something and some guy grabs you and the literal bar at the bar is next to you and you can't step that way. And so then you got to go lefties.
So yeah, I mean, if I go that way, cat, and it's, whoops.
That's it.
Cat, pin.
Mm-hmm.
Hip, reach. Then it's.
That's it. Now the only tip I'm going to give you is after you have that arm pin, after you have that lapel grab, whatever leg is doing the reaping, it needs some space to do the reap. So your other foot needs to get out of the way. And so if you want to call it a drop step, if you want to call it a, I just call it an adjustment step, but
Yeah.
get that other foot out of the way so that you have room to reap. Otherwise it's like threading a very fine needle through a tiny hole. Whatever gap there is between your other foot and his leg, it's just almost nothing to get your reaping leg between. So let's see it one more time.
It seems like the obvious thing to do, and you get wrapped up in wanting to do the technique. It's like, no, I really have to do that drop step in order to get it cleared. So you're right. So he's got me here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not doing that drop step. But this is definitely one I've got to have a partner. Because I've got to feel where that leg is. Because I can cat, because I want to, when I come around after that cat, I want to be in close to that leg. Because if I don't have him under control. If I step back too far, I don't have him under control, even if I've got that arm pinned.
That's right.
Okay. I'm gonna have to grab my son-in-law. He's a black belt in Kenpo Jitsu, so he's gonna be my uke a couple times.
Awesome. Well, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah. Okay. Left side. Let me see if I can pull it off left side here. Wow. Why am I having a hard time? Okay. Because then it's cat and it's come around, right?
Yep. And that's perfect. And get the marriage of gravity with the elbow. As you sink into that step, that's when the elbow hits. There it is.
Yep.
Now you're going to wrap and grab. Now hit the pause button. That right foot needs to get out of the way so your left can do its reap. Yes.
Not here. This way. This way.
Yep.
And reap.
That's it.
Because if I do it right and I still got a hold of that arm, I could potentially pull that right out of its socket, which is fine.
Right.
Okay. You are definitely losing your light there.
Yeah.
I forget what time it is.
Yeah, on my end, it's 5:30, and it gets dark fast here.
Do you need to go, Master?
I think I should. I hear some commotion there in the kitchen. There's a couple of other steps to this move. Once you get them on the ground, there's a kick to finish and a cover out.
Okay.
So something to look there on the videos. But you've got the most important parts.
Sure. I'll make sure I'm going to review the videos when I get off with you for sure.
Great. Take care.
Thank you, Master. Appreciate it.
Yep.